Welcome to this technical deep dive into the Cloudera Manager architecture within the Cloudera Data Platform. Cloudera Manager is the heartbeat of your cluster operations, whether on-premises or in the public cloud. In this video, we will unpack the server agent model, explore how cluster templates drive deployments, and understand how configuration management works under the hood. Let's get started. Let's define our subject. Cloudera Manager is the administrative interface and automation engine for your CDP clusters. It provides a single pane of glass for the entire lifecycle of your big data services. Architecturally, the CM server is the brain of the operation. In a CDP public cloud environment, you will often see the CM server co-located on the data lake master node or a specific management node within a data hub. Crucially, the CM server relies on a backing relational database to store the state of the world. Every configuration change, user account, and service status is persisted here. This diagram illustrates the high-level topology. At the top, administrators or API clients interact with the Cloudera Manager server via HTTPS. The server maintains its state in a metadata database, shown here as PostgreSQL. The server then orchestrates the cluster by communicating with the various cluster nodes via RPC calls. This centralization ensures that the cluster state is always consistent and auditable. How does the server control the hardware? It uses the Cloudera Manager agent. An agent process runs on every single node in your cluster, from the masters running the name node to the workers running data nodes. The agent is the execution arm. It handles the heavy lifting like unpacking software and supervising process lifecycles. The communication model is heartbeat-based. Agents check in with the server periodically to say "I am alive" and report their metrics. In response, the server sends back instructions, such as start this Hive service or update this configuration. Here we visualize the heartbeat mechanism. On the left is the management layer with the CM server. On the right, we have the cluster nodes, each running a CM agent. The bidirectional arrows represent the continuous heartbeat loop. The server does not push commands arbitrarily. It waits for an agent's heartbeat to piggyback instructions, ensuring efficient network usage and synchronization across the fleet. How do we define what a cluster looks like? We use cluster templates. A cluster template is a JSON document that acts as a blueprint. It declaratively defines exactly which services should be installed, such as HDFS, Hive, or Spark, and how they should be configured. This abstraction is critical for CDP public cloud and data hubs, as it allows you to spin up identical environments repeatedly. Instead of manually clicking install, you provide a template to the CM API and it materializes the cluster exactly as defined. This flow shows the provisioning process. It starts with the cluster template JSON file. This is submitted to the Cloudera Manager API. The API parses the definition, splitting it into service definitions like HDFS or Yarn and host group mappings. These instructions are then executed to deploy the actual software services onto the physical or virtual infrastructure nodes. Digging deeper into the template, we find host templates. This is where the topology is defined. The JSON uses host templates to describe node types, for example, a master node versus a worker node. Inside these templates, we use reference names or ref names to assign specific roles. For instance, you might assign the HDFS name node role to the master group and the HDFS data node role to the worker group. This separation allows you to define the layout of a cluster abstractly, without knowing the specific IP addresses or host names in advance. Here we see the logical mapping inside a template. The template logic branches into two distinct host groups, master and worker. The master group is assigned high-level management roles like the name node and resource manager. The worker group is assigned compute and storage roles like data node and node manager. This logical grouping is what allows Cloudera Manager to deploy complex distributed systems onto any set of hardware. Configuration in Cloudera Manager is layered. At the top level, you have service configs, which cover standard settings like log directories or security ACLs. However, for advanced tuning, we use safety valves. In the template JSON, you might see fields like core site safety valve. These allow you to inject raw XML properties directly into configuration files like core site XML or HDFS site XML. This capability is essential for defining custom S3 buckets or tweaking internal parameters that aren't exposed in the standard UI. This flow shows how configurations are applied. The input comes from the admin or template. If it's a standard config, it updates the CM database directly. If it's a custom safety valve config, it is injected as an XML snippet. Both paths converge at service restart, which is required for the agents to pull the new configurations and apply them to the running processes. How does software actually get to the nodes? Cloudera Manager uses parcels. A parcel is a single compressed file containing the entire software stack. Agents download these parcels, unpack them to a version directory, and manage symbolic links to make them active. This allows for atomic upgrades and rollbacks. Additionally, if you need to run a service that isn't native to the platform, you use custom service descriptors or CSD. A CSD file tells the CM server how to configure, start, and stop a new service type, extending the platform's capabilities. This diagram tracks the lifecycle of a parcel. It originates at the CM server repository. It is distributed to the agent node. The agent performs 3 steps: downloading the file, unpacking it into a version directory, and finally updating the symlink. This last step makes the software active instantly, allowing for clean version switching without leaving file system debris. Finally, let's look at the context of CDP public cloud. Here, Cloudera Manager is embedded within Data Hub clusters. The CDP control plane acts as the overarching orchestrator. It provisions the cloud infrastructure Oz, Azure, GCP, and then bootstraps Cloudera Manager onto the master node. Once the cluster is running, you can access the Cloudera Manager UI directly from the Data Hub details page to perform granular tasks like checking logs, restarting specific roles, or fine-tuning performance. Ideally, you use the control plane for lifecycle management and CM for service-level operations. At the top is the CDP control plane, the master orchestrator. It provisions the underlying cloud infrastructure. Inside that infrastructure sits the Data Hub cluster. Within the Data Hub, the Cloudera Manager server is bootstrapped to manage local services. The dotted line indicates that the control plane provides a direct link for the user to access the CM server UI, bridging the gap between high-level orchestration and low-level management.
Welcome to quicktechie.com. So just type in quicktechie.com here. Then you can go through the material which is provided by Quicktechie. So we have first of all video courses which you can go here and you can find the various video courses across the technologies as well as finance domain. So if you see in Microsoft, we have 8 programs currently running. Next, you can go through the ebooks available. So all the ebooks which are in PDF format today, and you can download this. So let me go through Microsoft certification ebooks. You can click on any of this and you can see this is the PDF available for you to download. So these are the premium ebook mostly available on quicktechie.com platform only. Now the second part is exam simulator. As we primarily focus on the all technology companies and finance domain certification preparation material, so this is company wide listed here and you can go through this. So let me go through the Microsoft one again. You can see this is all Microsoft related certification. AB 730 exam, if you open it, so you can see here this, and all the practice papers are available here. Today we have a 5 practice paper. So click on the first practice paper. It would load the questions. You can answer this question. This is way you can answer it and you can move to the next question. Now third material we wanted to highlight is an audiobook. So we started recently with the audiobooks as well, which you can listen on the go, and various technology wise ebooks are available. And at the last, this is our alumni. These people who are subscribing to our courses and this platform, they are all listed here. And at the end, I wanted to tell you, if you find any course or training or certification preparation material which you want to get us prepare for yourself, please put on the comment section. If you're watching on YouTube, on Udemy, or on this platform itself, quicktechie.com, then please put the comment, or you can even send an email to using this contact us options here. You can directly do the WhatsApp message. You can call us on this numbers as well.